Hello guys and welcome back to the Built Not Bought channel. Now, budget build series. Now if you followed my Instagram, you'd know that I purchased this 80 series not too long ago with the intention of doing a budget build. Now I'm gonna say up front, this isn't a super budget build. Like, I mean, I could go out and buy a $500 Triton or something and go bush bashing. No, this budget build is something that I wanna build that can go touring. So I'm comparing it to like your $80,000 or $180,000 Land Cruiser. Like, this is something that we can do much cheaper, but is still capable. So the plan is to try and build this car and do a trip for less than $10,000. Now that is including everything that I put on this thing, including purchasing it. So how much should I pay for this? This is a 1996 4.5 litre 6-cylinder petrol. So it's the old petty cruiser. And I got it for $3,000. All right, so that's pretty cheap, but it was unregistered. So I'm going to include the registration fees and all that. I also had to get a permit to get it driven down to the Built Not Bought workshop from where I purchased it. That all goes in the price as well. So hold on, I've got a tally here. So obviously $3,000 to pay for it. Now vehicle movement permit was $84. Cha-ching! Rego was $612. You guys get smashed over here. Obviously that was putting the plates on as well as registration for 6 months. So that's got the car on the road as it is. Now, it's pretty grandpa spec. Now we've got a bunch of parts here that we're gonna put on. So I'll go through everything that we're gonna put on here, and it's basically something that's gonna be, these are like the 3 categories I've gone for. We've gone for safety, we've gone for look, and we've gone for capability. So they're the 3 categories that all of these fall somewhat under to make this thing ready for any trip that I throw at it. Oh, I almost forgot. I'm making this thing a little bit harder for myself. This is going to be a 24-hour build. Stock to tourer in 24 hours. And if that wasn't hard enough, I think that's just too easy for me. If flashback to when I did the manual to auto conversion in 24-hour challenge, it took me 16 hours. I mean, just too good, mate. So I'm gonna make it even harder. Now this here, all I'm gonna use is this toolkit and this rattle gun. I know I gave myself a rattle gun, but let's be honest, it's not gonna happen in bloody 24 hours without this. So I've got a small toolkit and the rattle gun. But if I do need any other tools, because I've just thought about it, I'm probably gonna need a hammer once or twice. Every time I grab a tool that is not part of those 2 things is gonna 5-minute penalty. So I'm gonna tally that up at the end, 5-minute penalty for any tool that's not in that toolbox or the rattle gun. So I'm making it harder for myself, and I got 24 hours. Now, let's get into having a look at what we got here. Add up the prices. All right, hello, we're back on the vlog train. Isn't it good to be back doing it like this? I'll tell you what, the cameraman didn't want to get up this early. That's a lie, it's not even early. We're not even gonna start this till tomorrow at about 7 o'clock. So here's all the gear we've got. Right, where do we begin? So we've got some new tires, right? So these were $1,280. Now tires, look, tires and lift are the key things to make your four-wheel drive a four-wheel drive. So they're kind of an essential, one of the more expensive things, but definitely well worth it. So we've got some of those tires there. They're Black Bear, Rugged Terrain, I think they're called. Now down here we've got a snorkel. I got that off eBay, so that was only $98. Cha-ching! Next to that, dual battery system. So we've got a second battery there, 260 bucks. We've got the Red Arc Isolator. That is just their standard smart isolator. Very cheap, very effective, $159. And then the battery box itself was also off Gumtree. Battery tray, 90 bucks. Boom! All right, next to that, to power up the electrical stuff there, we've got accessory panel from Supercheap, $46. Also, the rear recovery point was from Supercheap, that was $34. That's this one here. Now, a couple of things I had floating around the workshop that I've included are these reverse lights, also some old spotties. Now, you don't need to put them on, but they were just floating around because I've included this light bar in the price, so you don't need a light bar and spotties. But that light bar was from Supercheap as well. $114 for the light bar. Bull bar. Now that's something, they are very expensive, but there are so many on Gumtree online. So I picked that one up for 400 bucks off Gumtree or Facebook Market, or I forget where it was. Suspension, so we've gone a very basic Superior Engineering 2-inch lift kit. That's all you need for four-wheel driving. That'll fit the 33s. And that is a 2-inch kit with coils and springs and a dampener. That kit was 1,500 bucks. Again, tires and suspension, crucial. So they're the expensive things, but well worth it. Next to that, we've got an awning, Ridge Rider awning, that was $89. That comes under the comfort for me. Couple of water tanks, 30 bucks, carry the water with you. Simple drawer system, they're just the Titan drawers. They were $359. So that'll keep all my campy stuff from flying around in the back. It's sort of a safety thing. Roof rack, obviously we're not gonna have much space to put swags in that, so I picked that up off Facebook Market for $100. What a steal. Again, there's heaps of them online. You can find them super easy. Hopefully I haven't forgotten anything else. No, so that is the basics of what we're going to be putting in this next 24 hours, and that will turn this 80 series into an absolute touring machine. So I guess tomorrow morning, I reckon about 7 o'clock when I wake up, we'll come in here, things on the hoist ready to go, and we'll rip into it. Sam from Built Not Bought. How good are Fruit Loops? All right, it's currently, it's almost bang on 7 a.m. 6:59, 7 a.m. this morning. Now it's Friday morning. So I've got until 7 o'clock tomorrow, Saturday morning, to put the car together. Lunch, roast turkey for dinner, and of course the midnight snack. With all that, I think it's time to get into it. Come on. Yeah, no, I'm taking the penalty on this one. It'll take me longer than 5 minutes to sort it out otherwise. You gotta think strategically.
So the plan here was to work through the most tedious big tasks first, and then move from the front of the car towards the back, adding everything as we go.
Righto, so all the shocks have been removed, so when I lift the car up now, it should bring the diffs down enough to actually let those springs drop out. Just gotta watch them brake lines. Right, now all the coils are finally in. I've left it sitting up. What I ended up having to do was pull out the sway bars front and rear to get enough droop to pop the coils out. Luckily, the new 2-inch ones just pop straight in. So when you go a 4-inch, a bit more work involved. So I was lucky there. So what we're putting in is Superior Engineering's 2-inch lift kit. So that's a pretty affordable kit. It's got their gas nitro shocks, which will make this thing ride way better. Now a 2-inch, I think is the best lift for like a budget build. Like you need some lift for full driving, not only for clearance, but to fit bigger tires. But as soon as you go 3 or 4-inch, you got to start changing other things with your arms and that. So a 2-inch is very, very cheap compared to a 3, 4-inch and beyond. So that's why we've gone that. Pop these in. These are both just post to post. There's an eyelet to a post on the other end. I'll try and slot them in while it's up, and then as it comes down, everything should just fall in place. Tighten it up, and that's pretty much lift done. All right, there we go. That's the last bolt on the suspension. So we've done all these shocks are in, the springs are in, done up the sway bars back again. So that suspension finished. It's off the hoist, so I can pretty much roll it forward. I reckon we'll, what do we got next? Let's get the bull bar on, lights, and start working our way back. Then we'll go roof rack, awning, and then start doing the inside. So then the drawers, dual battery, all that good stuff. We need a time check, 8:36. So we started at 7? An hour and a half suspension in. Dude, I think this whole build's gonna be done in like 12 hours. Oh my God, I've done it now. Jinxed myself. Ooly dooly. All right, I've sacrificed another 5 minutes using a tool that's not on the toolbox. So an engine crane doesn't fit in the toolbox. Oh, that's a shame. But look, there's only me here, so I'm not gonna be able to lift this on my own. Another 5 minutes on the board. Right, so a steel bull bar. This is sort of under 2 categories. One is looks. I think it looks tough with the new bull bar. And 2, being a steel one, it's safety as well. So I reckon that's one thing that you should put on full drive. It did have an alloy one on there, but they're pretty much useless. So if you don't have a bull bar at all, I reckon it's something that you should put on. if you want to go bush, because it will save you. It's like cheap insurance. It'll save you money and it will save you damage. And you can house a winch if you want to down the track, which I'm not this time, because if you got your mates with you, that's all you need. Alright, there we go, we've got the bull bar put on and I've chucked these spotties on. So these are just some I had lying around the workshop, and I'm not gonna lie, I did have to use the drill to put some new holes in for the spotties. So that's another 5-minute penalty, but there was no way around that. The holes were not gonna be big enough. I did reuse ones that were already there, so it saved a bit of time, but at least it's on there, bull bar's on. I think it's time for lunch now. I'm getting a bit hungry. The time is about 11 o'clock. Also, while I've got you, we've actually just released the new long sleeve Built Not Bought grey shirt. So check them out on the website. I've just got a couple of hundred in, so they're probably not gonna last long. It is winter, it is cold, so jump over to the website. There'll be a link down below to go and grab them. I'm gonna go have some lunch and then we'll get back to it. I reckon next thing is start moving back. I wanna sort this snorkel out. That's gonna be a big job because we're gonna have to cut in the side, get into the air box, all that good stuff. So looking forward to that one. See you in a bit. Hello guys, and welcome to this week's tech tip video. Now we're going to be talking about brakes today because they are often overlooked on vehicles. A lot of these cars these days have so much more power, and the stopping force is going to heat up those brakes and cause them to fade over time. Now this is particularly important on four-wheel drives as well when you're adding weight, extra accessories to go camping and four-wheel driving. Bendix have just brought out their new ceramic Ultimate Plus brake pads. Now these are designed to improve the stopping distance and the brake feel under your pedal. Now these pair perfectly with the Bendix Ultimate Brake rotors. This kit is recommended to be installed by a professional, but if you are an experienced mechanic, it is easy to do yourself as well. All right, there we go. We've done some pretty hard braking through some windy tracks and that. Now these brakes, definitely an improvement over what's in there. And another thing to note is the amount of dust. It's really minimal. We've done some pretty hard braking today, and it's lower dust, lower noise, and much better braking capability. So guys, make sure to remember to consider your brakes when you're doing any modifications to the power, the weight, performance of your car, because safety is paramount and brakes are a real cheap insurance to make sure that you don't have any issues out on the road. So make sure to check out the Bendix Ultimate Plus brake pads, and the rotor kits are available at all good retailers. And don't forget, support the businesses that support Built Not Bought. Now back to the episode. And we're back. All right, we're back. We've had lunch, had me tuna mornay, bloody beautiful. I reckon I'm gonna get hungry by the end of this, but all right, snorkel. In here, we'll whack the old eBay snorkel in there. Now, of course, the snorkel is for the capability. You go off-road, you go through water, you don't want to get water into your engine, especially being a diesel that's a petrol. Still, you don't want it in there. All right, so this is pretty sweet. It was like, what was it, 80 bucks, and it came with a template. So we'll whack that template on the car and see how it fits up. Okay, so it comes with this little template, and you pretty much just mark it up. I love it when these snorkels come with templates. Sometimes the stainless ones, they don't really make them, but with these, super easy. Alrighty, time check, it is 12:36. So smashing it for time. So we've done the snorkel and the roof rack. So the snorkel, I did have to use my my air cutter, and then also the drill for the holes, and then there was some pot rivets to go on as well. So there's 3 more tools that I've used that aren't in that toolbox. So another 3 strikes there. Got the roof rack on, so that was pretty simple. just a few bolts around the side onto the gutters there. So I think next thing, light bar, awning, all the stuff on the roof rack, and then we can start looking at the 12 volt stuff. So the dual battery, wiring up all the lights and everything, and that'll take us into the night, I reckon. The wiring's gonna be the tedious part, so not looking forward to that. Awning's the next thing I'm gonna put on. Now I got that because, look, let's be honest, you wanna go camping rain, hail or shine. So this is just a 2 meter by, hold on, what is it? 2 by 2.5, so pretty standard size. It's just a Ridge Rider one. We'll whack that on the side there. It comes with a couple little mounting brackets, so that shouldn't be too bad. The light bar I wanted to get on the front of the roof rack, so I might have to make a couple of little elbow mounts for that. Yeah, I have to suss that out. So we'll get them up on there and that'll finish the roof rack. And then those water containers just pretty much sit on top and they'll be strapped down with water in there. I might do one water, one fuel or something like that. And that'll sort out the roof and then we can start looking inside the car. All right, so we're looking at this light bar and the easiest place to put it, which will also help the way it sits, is gonna be like sort of in there. So I made the call, I'm gonna cut these sections out here because there's a lot of support from these side ones anyway. So that bar's there just to stop your bags and that falling off. And I'll mount it right there, I reckon, wherever these things go. Just like that. Nice. All right, there we are, the light bar's installed. I'm gonna wait to do the wiring and finish that off, but the mounting's done. I did have to use a grinder to sort out that roof rack and also the drill, so another 2 penalties. Where are we at with them, by the way? 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 penalties so far. Which means nothing. I should have made them longer. I should have made them half an hour. That would have been a real challenge. 5 minutes, it's too late to change it now. Or should we change it to 10? What's that, 80 minutes? That knocks an hour off. Yeah, let's do that. 10-minute penalty. I'm almost done and it's not even night time yet, so I've got to start upping the game. So I just finished the light bar and got the awning on there. So now chucking these rear drawers in, we're starting to get inside the car. These are the Titan ones, like you can't go wrong. It's alley, Galv, whatever it is, Galv steel. And got some marine carpet on there, so super cheap, super reliable. And you can actually change the mounting point. So I've pretty much tacked into where the rear seats were because it was a 7-seater. So there's a couple of mounting points there that the seats clicked into and you can adjust the rails so you can pretty much mount it wherever you want. So get these inside here and then it's pretty much putting all the boards back on and then that's it, drawers done. Doesn't take long at all. Righto, looking at the dual battery system now, it actually goes on the opposite side at the front here, which is where the washer bottle is. So that comes out and there's a relocation bracket at the back here. So the kit I got from Gumtree came with all the brackets to move that washer bottle across. You also got to move the airflow sensor off the air tank and then the battery goes in here. Now I've just gone like a deep cycle. It's only like a 70 amp hour, so nothing too hectic. But that's just enough to run your fridge. There'll be no freezers or really any inverters or anything extra on this car. So that's enough to pretty much keep your beers cold and that's all we need for the trips that we're doing. So get these brackets sorted out and then we'll drop that box in, get the battery sorted and then start looking at hooking up all the dual battery stuff, cables, lights and everything we need to run. All right, now that we've got the battery in and the second battery installed with the bracket there, we've got to look at the isolator. So I've gone the red Arc Smart Isolator. Now this is something that these guys have had for years and years and have hardly ever changed. It's super simple. It takes care of charging your second battery when the car's running, but when you switch it off and you have your fridge running off the auxiliary, it'll cut the power between the two so it won't run your starting battery flat. So it is a super crucial piece of equipment for any four-wheel drive when you're running accessories with, even when it comes to lights, camping lights, LED strips, anything like that, that can drain your starting battery. The last thing you want is to wake up in the morning and have a flat battery. All right, I think it's time to do a quick little update or wrap up. We've got the rear drawers in here, so they're installed. Ooh, a bit dark in there. So they went in pretty sweet, and we got the side wings as well. So the plan is to put some little outlets here for charging. The fridge will go on there because that's a slide out, as well as the drawer, so that comes off as well, and the fridge will be connected to that. Around the front, I sort of finished that off, and now we're just still going with this dual battery system. So all the isolators hooked up, so we've got the Smart Isolator there connecting up to the starting battery. So now that we have an auxiliary, I can start running the cables for the chargers, the fridge, the lights, all that kind of stuff. Spotters will be going off the starting battery, but everything else will be off the auxiliary. 5:02. I'm getting pretty knackered. I might have a quick shower. Lucky I've got a shower at work. Have a shower, freshen up, have some dinner, and then get back into it. All the wiring is sort of the tedious stuff. There's not really too much to film, so we're probably gonna smash it out for the next few hours. Get back to you with the progress and see what time it is. But yeah, it's really getting close. There's not much left on the floor, if I'm honest. Look at that. They're just empty boxes. We're almost there.
1 week later.
Oh, all right. We're back in from the little dinner and shower break. I feel refreshed. It's about, I think it's about 7:30. I don't know, something like that. Sorry if the light's flickering. I've had to put my light on here and it flickers with the frame rate. I don't know. But anyway, back end super simple. So with that new second battery put in, I run some cable back into here, and this is literally what I've got. So we've got a cigarette outlet for the fridge or whatever the hell you want to put there. And then a couple of USB chargers for your phones, accessories, some camera gear for me. And that is it for now. With that power there, I can also chuck some fuse panels later on, but seriously, all you need is a fridge and then something to charge whatever. Like these days, you can probably charge a laptop from a USB port. So it really covers everything, and it won't draw too much from that battery because it's not massive. So I don't know, there's light at the end of the tunnel, or maybe it's just that one right there. I don't know, there's something hit me in the face. It's either a tunnel or it's just failure. Rightio, time check again. It is 7:24. Jeez, I'm smashing it. And I feel way more awake than I was this morning, which is strange, but I think it's because we're doing the wiring. It's a little bit more just chilled out, a bit more relaxed. Now, one thing I did mention at the start, I've decided to add these solar shades. So I did this on my wagon ages ago and it works mint. It's literally like $5-6 from Red Dot, reject store, whatever. Just put them in with some Velcro and that'll shade off the whole back section. Keeping it nice and cool from the weather, also keeps the sun out as well if you're sleeping inside your car, because some people do that on the drawers there. So I'm just gonna whack them on, that's the last thing to put on. And then I think I'm pretty much done now apart from the tires. Like all the bits that were on the ground are now on the car. So the time is, what is the time? 8:11, oh my God, it's early. So that was 12, 13, 14 hours. There we go. Stock to Tura in 14 hours, apart from the tires. But I'll show you a clip. Obviously, I'll put the tires on myself there, so I'm doing that in the morning, but when you're watching this now, you'll be able to see that happen. And I guess, let's show you the final product. Holy dooly, I almost forgot. Of course, we need to put the Build Not Bought sticker on after that amazing build. You know, no matter how much you do to your car, if it's built, not bought, anything on it, you can go one of these stickers. You'd think I'd get it more central, wouldn't you? Oh, well, I am a bush mechanic, so you can't expect too much. There we have it. It's officially part of the Built Not Bought family. So these banners are available on the website, and if you've done anything to your car, you are eligible. Would you look at that? It's definitely not straight or center. All right, guys, as I was editing that, I realized it didn't actually take you through the run through of the prices, the total cost of the build. So we had the cost of the four-wheel drive and then the permits, rego, all that, which came to $3,696. Then we went through that big list of accessories that we installed in this episode, which came to a total of $4,559, which gave a grand total of $8,255 to buy, build, own that cruiser. So what we've got in next episode is the trip to Moreton Island. So that is what we've decided to do for the first Grand Voyage trip in the 80 series. Now that means we've got $1,745 to do that trip, which I think will be absolutely fine with the ferry, with food, with camping, all that good stuff. So keep an eye out for next week's episode for the 80 series first trip. Oh yeah, don't forget the new long sleeve shirt that has just been released today on our website, so make sure you go check them out. Grab a banner if you want on your windscreen like the one on the 80 series. Join our Patreon page for all the behind the scenes, early access to uploads, discounts, all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the next episode. Don't forget to subscribe. Peace! Hello guys, and welcome to Built Not Bought HQ. Make sure to click on the far left to subscribe to the channel. Click down below to see the latest episode if you missed it. And don't forget our merchandise on our website. See you in the next episode.